Hey YouTube, this is Bax and I'm really excited to be launching a new channel, Bax Attacks, and we'll be featuring a brand new game by Space 8 Games called Rival Kingdoms. This game has been out for about 2 months now and I'm really enjoying it. Was a previous big player of Clash of Clans, love that game a lot. Rival Kingdoms has a lot of features common with Clash of Clans, but a lot of advantages over there as well. Rather than get into a big description of all the details of the game, I just thought I would dive right in and show you some actual gameplay today. Okay, Rival Kingdoms has a great feature called Kingdom Raids, in which you fight other kingdoms. There are 10 bases for each kingdom that you have to go through, from the weakest to the strongest, up to the king of the kingdom, and you'll get the most points for winning the king. You'll get an increasing number of points for each different base. Now, in this particular kingdom raid, there was a little bit of a outmatch here, and so the bases that our kingdom is facing are really not too difficult. But what that does is let me go through this fairly quickly and to show just a number of different ancients within the game. The ancients are really one of the most distinctive and most fun features of the game. It's like a special spellcasting hero that you can choose for a battle, and they generate. They take mana to cast their spells. The mana is generated as you destroy buildings, and you can cast a relatively light spell for 5 mana, a medium one for 10, and a heavy one for 15. There are a number of different ancients within the game. There are 5 different elemental types. There's ice, fire, nature, death, and lightning. This is a fire ancient in practice, and he's got spells that'll do fire damage, that'll protect your troops from magical damage, and that can summon a powerful fire elemental as well here. Solric is the first one that every new player gets within the game, so he's a good starting one to get. And basically, all the ancients really are pretty equally balanced in power, and so there's not that one is any better than the other, but situationally they have their uses. One of the really nice features about the game is that you get to see the base and get to choose your different troops and choose your ancient with their spell mix after you see the base, in order to give yourself the best odds of attacking that. So you really don't get stuck with having the wrong troops. There's no troop training time. That's a big advantage of this game. And the different spells that the ancients have really gives great strategic variety and flexibility to the game. So that's one thing I really enjoy it. And the ancients will level up over time. You have to decide which ones you want to focus on increasing, and those take resources. So that's another interesting fun feature of the game. So we're just highlighting different ancients as we go through the base here. Let's see, for this next one, I think we'll go with Kestra. She's a nature ancient. She can use spells that do some damage, use spells that confuse the buildings and make them shoot at themselves. That's pretty cool. And use a spell that will speed up the troops. So it's not just a pure damage that they do. There's a great variety of spells. They can buff your own troops. They can weaken the defenses or cause them to do things, as well as provide protection or do direct damage. And the areas that the spells affect are very different as well. And again, there's not a fixed number of spells that you have to use. If you want to use a more powerful spell, you need to destroy more buildings in order to generate the mana to cast those spells. And so some bases where it's easy to get mana will favor the use of one ancient over a different one. In addition, for your troops, you get to pick different ones. There are big hulking maulers that are like giants, and they target the defenses directly. That's nice. There's your basic soldier, your grunt foot soldier that is both sturdy and does good damage. There's a paladin who helps to heal your units. There's a warden, like an archer, which can shoot from a distance and over walls, and so having a mix of those units is usually very favorable. This ancient that we're using here, Nyrax, is a death ancient and can summon undead, can regenerate your troops, or can drop a death spell that can do amazing damage to a single building. So if there's one particular defense that just has to be knocked out, Nyrax's death spell is really a great one for that. Other ancients have area of effect spells, so there's even when the spells are doing damage, there's a great variety to how that works out in practice here. The Essence Master is a fun one here, and this is one that is obtained using something called promo codes. So Space Apes likes to give out promo codes, and if you've seen other YouTube channels on Rival Kingdoms, you know what those are, and hopefully someday I can get some to share with you guys as well. The Essence Master focuses on spells that cause generation of a lot of extra mana, and then his top spell is kind of a wild card. You can get an Earthquake, a Firebomb, you can get Frozen results from that, so that's just a really fun one and a really quick one to run through a base. Especially if the base is not one that generates a lot of mana, he can generate his own. Alright, let's see. So for this next raid, let's switch up the Ancient again, and this time we will go with, let's go with Admiral Lee. Admiral Lee is a unique Ancient in that he has a spell that can allow the troops to target one specific building. So if you played other games like Clash of Clans where you just wish, I wish those troops would just go right after the town hall. Well, Admiral Lee can force the troops to do just that. In addition, he's got spells that can buff the troops, help them to get a little bit more damage, a little extra healing, and then as they all close down, get kind of in range within that stronghold, you can cast that Battle Order spell, boom, there they go, they come right in on it, and that stronghold goes down really fast. So Admiral Lee is quite a nice Ancient to have in your mix, very different from the other Ancients. So he's a good one, and he's a cold Ancient. Let's see, the next one that we will look at is one called Takemi, and she shows another feature of the game in that each day that you log in, there are awards or bonuses that you get just for logging in that day. And so after playing the game for 28 days, you will automatically get this free Ancient. And Takemi spells focus on making your units move faster, making the defensive buildings shoot slower, and you can really tear through a base kind of quickly with this. So she's a very nice Death Ancient. She's also got that middle spell is one that can, it's almost like a rewind button. The troops will go backward to where they were in location and in health 5 seconds ago. That one is a really tricky spell. I haven't figured out how to use that one too well yet. If any of you have tips on it, I'd love to hear that. But I do love the first spell that she has. Alright, we're getting down toward the end of the Kingdom Raid here. And so let's switch to another different elemental, and let's go with Bainmaw. Bainmaw is one that is a limited time only Ancient, and that's, you get him, or you have the chance to get him during the special Winter's event. Many players will get him, others will not, so I was very lucky to get Bainmaw. And he's got spells that kind of interact with each other. So there's a bonus for the first spell, and then the second and third spell each do something, but when they're combined with the first, and when the second and third spell are combined with the first one, there's even greater benefits that can happen there. So he's just a really fun Ancient to use as well. So I enjoy him a lot there. The animation and the graphics here in this game are really, really well done as well. That's another nice feature about the game. Not at all cartoony, very, very realistic graphics. And a great variety, again, in the visual features of the different Ancients. Alright, so here we are arrived at the castle. We are going after the enemy king for the largest amount of points in this Kingdom Raid. In a subsequent episode, we will take a look at how Kingdom Raids work. So right now we're just kind of showing some gameplay examples here. And for this final one, we're going to use an ancient called Nocti, a fire ancient. And his first two spells are not too bad, but really the one I love about him is his third spell. It's called the Breath of Ra, and it just does a massive amount of damage to a cluster of buildings together. So he's a really fun one, but you have to work a little extra hard to get that 15 mana to be able to cast the Breath of Ra. Just to see what it's like, I'm going to also summon some of the fire elementals. Those are pretty cool looking. And we'll use a sandstorm here, I think, in order to slow down the buildings. And then we'll just save up for that 15 mana, and we'll take a look at that Breath of Ra here when we can. Use the dragon to fly over and free some structures, and here comes the Breath of Ra, and boom! That base is just leveled. Just for kicks, let's do another one. That is just a really fun spell. So, Nocti can be quite good against the right base, where you can find the mana for it, when your troops can survive to get there. So we have defeated the king, we have finished the kingdom raid, and that will wrap it up for this episode. So I hope you like Bax Attacks. I hope that you will like and subscribe. If you have any ideas for what you'd like to see, please leave a comment, and it would really help out if you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. So for more on Rival Kingdoms, check back later.